When we create, we can create either with the thinking mind or we can create with the receptive mind. Now, you can create great things with the thinking mind, but you will often create greater things with the receptive mind. Why? Because you are not limiting yourself. You limit yourself when you are in the thinking mind. It's not that it's good or bad or any of that, it just is, right? You are limited by your level of consciousness. Hello my loves, welcome back. So in today's video, I want to talk about Mercury Retrograde. I believe this Mercury Retrograde is going to be a very profound one, and we might say every Mercury Retrograde is profound in its own way, but this is a special edition because Mercury Retrograde is going to cover approximately the same degree, the same area that Venus Retrograde is covering at the same time. Now, Venus started her retrograde cycle on the 1st of March in 10 degrees of Aries, and she will station direct in 24 degrees of Pisces. Now, Mercury Retrograde is going to start on the 15th of March in 9 degrees of Aries and will end on the 7th of April in 26 degrees of Aries. What that tells me is that we are going to go deeper. We are going to go deeper into the matters of these areas in our birth chart, in this house area, right? So you might have already watched my Venus retrograde videos. If not, you should go and check those out. In this video, I am going to add on. I will describe what the Mercury energy in this area will teach you. And what we need to understand with the Mercury retrograde is that Mercury is the thinking mind. So the thinking mind is the masculine mind, right? The masculine energy. Thinking is masculine. It's a masculine energy, not to be mistaken for man. I'm not talking about man, it's the male. No, I'm saying it's masculine. It's the masculine part of us. When we turn on the thinking mind, we turn on a masculine energy within us. Now, Mercury retrograde, you probably guessed it, is moving us into the receptive mind, the feminine mind. That's why I think Mercury retrogrades are so profound, and people that are born with Mercury retrograde are going to be more in that receptive mind. They have an easier time to tap into that. Doesn't mean if you're not born on a Mercury retrograde that you can't tap into the receptive mind. Of course, you go into meditation, that's how you go into the receptive mind. If you stop thinking, right? If you stop mostly when we first come across meditation, it is not easy to just switch, right? We are still thinking. Most people go into meditation and they are thinking about what they have to do next. Well, that is not real meditation, right? Because you're still in a thinking mind. Anyways, we're not here to talk about meditation. We're here to talk about Mercury retrograde. And again, when Mercury is in retrograde, we are going energetically into the receptive mind, right? We are more receptive. We are not thinking our way through things, but we are allowing. Again, that's the feminine principle. You're opening yourself up and you're receiving. So during Mercury retrograde, whatever area that falls in your chart, you are now allowing yourself to be more open to new ideas. When we create, we can create either with the thinking mind or we can create with the receptive mind. Now, you can create great things with the thinking mind, but you will often create greater things with the receptive mind. Why? Because you are not limiting yourself. You limit yourself when you are in the thinking mind. It's not that it's good or bad or any of that, it just is, right? You are limited by your level of consciousness. We will never, maybe I shouldn't say never because I don't know what will come in the future. When we are all gone and next generations are here, maybe they will be able to penetrate the subconscious mind in a way that can be understood better, more fully. But at this point, we don't really understand it. We understand, we can conceptualize, okay, we have the conscious mind, we have the subconscious mind, and then the unconscious, right, where we go deeper into the subconscious mind, but we can't really fully grasp that, the space that is there. We get a glimpse of it in meditation, but we can't really make it fully conscious. But that's also not the point. The point is being able to tap in and take things from there and then utilize it in your conscious world, in your consciousness, right? So that's the idea. Like, have you ever been on a walk without your phone, without anything? You're just walking and you're walking and you're walking, and all of a sudden you have all these ideas. And you're like, where are these ideas coming from? Well, that's your receptive mind, being open. Anyways, I could, we could obviously go on forever, but I want to hone in on each area in the chart for you, for your rising sign. So in this video, I'm going to talk about this Mercury retrograde for everyone with an Aries rising to Virgo rising. So the first 6 signs. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the other 6 signs. Let's start with Aries rising. For you, this retrograde will start in the 1st house and move into the 12th house, like the Venus retrograde. Now, what you are opening up here is new levels of self. Your next version of self. You're going to be able to tap into that deeper. You're going to be more open to it. But again, what you then do with it is that I cannot tell you, right? But the openness is here. Now, how can you utilize it? Well, you can journal, right? Journaling is a beautiful way to bring whatever comes up, what you receive, write it down, bring it into the conscious. And maybe you will be able to understand what you can do with it. Maybe you can utilize it. Maybe you cannot utilize it right away, but it will help you make things more clear, writing things down, understanding things on a deeper level. And in the 12th house, you will go even deeper, right? Because the 12th house is the true house of creation, right? It's like, I know we always talk about the 5th house as the house of creation, and it is in the physical world. But when we talk about the subconscious, the unconscious, the spiritual essence of us, right? Like that part that was there before we became into this physical body, that's the 12th house. And that's the true source. So when we tap back into that, understanding what soul really is here to manifest, that's when we connect back to spirit, to soul, to source, to your universe, to God, whatever you want to call it. And you have this beautiful portal open right now. With Venus retrograde, the idea here is understanding your worth and value better. But with Mercury retrograde here is understanding what to actually do with it, how to utilize it. Mercury in mythology is the messenger of the gods, and Mercury goes back and forth between 2 worlds. And when we look at it from the principle of the masculine and feminine, it goes back and forth between the masculine and the feminine, and it's the communicator between the two. Now the portal for you of communicating between your masculine and feminine is wide open. It's wide open, and you, because we're also in a Venus retrograde, you're tapping into that beautiful feminine subconscious part of you on a deeper level. And what jewels you bring forth, what jewels you bring out, that is up to you. But that openness, that receptiveness, that receiving part of you is switched on. And maybe like you will find a deeper connection to whatever you call God, the universe, the divine. And, you connect deeper to your spiritual self, because that's also what the 12th house is. The 12th house is also the place where we go and retreat, rejuvenate, right? It's a time of rejuvenation. Every retrograde is always a time of rejuvenation, because we are going to the other side. We're going to the receptive side, connecting deeper with that knower, that part of you that came here to experience life, to experience the physical world, connecting with that part. What does that part really want to experience? Then Taurus Rising, for you, like I just said, with Aries Rising, you're also experiencing this energy in the 12th house, but also the 11th house. Let's start with the 12th house. Like I just said, for Aries rising, the 12th house is the house of spirituality, the house of true creation, the creation in the spiritual world, right? In the other realm, the realm that we don't really fully grasp, that we don't really fully understand with our conscious mind. The 5th house is the house of creation, physical creation, right? But the 12th house, that's the source, right? It's the source code. So you are, during this Venus retrograde, but also during this Mercury retrograde, have the ability to tap deeper into that source code, your source code. First of all, you want to rejuvenate there. You want to realign, readjust yourself, and then bring forth the jewels and take it and understand what you truly came here to experience in this world, in this beautiful human body, spacesuit, whatever you want to call it. Then in the 11th house, Mercury retrograde is going to ask you to look at the people around you, your friendship circle, your community, and see who you actually are connecting with and who you are not connecting with anymore. And since we're talking about Mercury, we're talking about communication. Also thinking, right? Because Mercury is the thinking mind. But in the retrograde, we get to look at it from the other side. And now we get to look at, am I even able to communicate with this person properly? Do they understand me? Do I understand them? Do I want to understand them? Do I feel connected? Do I feel aligned with their mission on this planet? Are we going into the same direction? What needs to shift and change in this area for me? And then also your hopes and dreams and your higher aspirations, part of this area. And again, the same thing. We're gonna sit back into the receptive mind and we look at our hopes, dreams, and higher aspirations from that perspective. Not pursuing them, not thinking our way through it or towards it, but being in the receptive mind, looking at it, understanding it, observing it. Is this truly me? Is this truly what I want? Am I really truly connected to those ideas that I have? Idealism is part of this area as well. Are those ideals still my ideals? Then Gemini Rising, for you, this a retrograde occurs in the 11th and the 10th house. Like I just said, for Taurus Rising, ideals, your higher aspirations. You get an opportunity to now sit back and look at them from the other side. Are those ideals still ideal? Are you still connected to those ideals? Also, are you still connected to the people in your community, in your friendship circle? Are you able to communicate with them? Are they hearing you? Not just hearing you, but hearing you, right? Do they hear you? Do you hear them? Are you still connected? If not, what needs to shift and change? How can you realign it? Do you want to realign it? We don't have to always try to keep everyone in our lives if we are not aligned with them anymore. That doesn't mean you should toss out people just like cold-heartedly. No, but you got to know what is true for you. Are you going in the same direction with the people in your life? Or is one person going north, the other one south? Do you have shared ideas, shared aspirations? Those are the questions for this retrograde. Then in the 10th house, obviously career, higher purpose. What is that? What does that mean to you? Again, sit back, observe it. Don't overthink it, right? This is not a time to overthink. This is a time to sit back, relax. And Mercury retrograde is also the time where, or it is known to be a time of transportation chaos, right? Where we miss the flight is late, the computer doesn't work. Why is that? Well, you're not supposed to move forward, right? You're supposed to take time to sit back. And I understand in the world we live in, we don't really get a break, but you got to make that time. You got to take that break for you. Find it in your day. Doesn't have to be all day if that is not feasible for you. But find some time in your day where you just sit back, go into meditation, just observe, go on a walk. I mean, that's always the easiest way to get into meditation, to open up to the receptive mind, to allow new ideas in. What do you want now in this area of purpose? What do you want to accomplish, right? It's the house of accomplishments. But do it from an observer mind. Like, observe what is. It's a time for review. What have you accomplished? And do you want to keep going that direction? You want to shift and change things in your work. Then Cancer Rising. For you, this is occurring in the 10th house. This retrograde is occurring in the 10th house and the 9th house. Now, in the 10th house, purpose, work, accomplishments, you are asked to sit back, observe. What is? What is? What have you accomplished? Where are you at? Take stock. Review. Where do you want to go from here? Do you want to keep going that direction? Do you not? Do you like what you see? Do you like where this goes? Again, just observe. Don't do anything yet. Sit back or go on a walk. Right? Like I always say, going on a walk is like probably the healthiest thing we can do for ourselves, because we really open up. Don't take your phone. Don't take anything that distracts you. Just walk in nature. You will see how easy it is to actually allow yourself to receive the information. Because the information is out there, but you pushing forward, trying to think, don't allow the information to come in. You're chasing the information. You're not receiving it. You're chasing it. Doesn't mean that you can't get information by chasing it, but you can get the wider, broader, bigger picture when you allow yourself to receive it. Then in the 9th house, we're talking about the area of higher education, also traveling, beliefs, your belief system. This is a beautiful time to step back, look at your belief system. What do I believe? Are those beliefs serving me? Where are they taking me? Are they taking me anywhere? Are they taking me where I actually want to go? Are they blocking me? Are they blocking my flow? Are they blocking or limiting, maybe I should say, limiting what I want to accomplish, what I want to do in life? This is a wonderful time for meditation, daily meditation. I mean, I believe meditation should be a part of our day-to-day life, period. But during this retrograde time, it is wonderful to tap into that receptive mind. Then Leo Rising, for you, this retrograde, like the Venus retrograde, will fall into the 9th and the 8th house. You have the chance to take this Venus retrograde deeper through the Mercury retrograde. And how do you do that? Well, you do that through observing, reviewing, and opening the mind, right? Mercury is the mind. And Mercury is the thinking mind. But when Mercury is in retrograde, we are inspired to open up to the receptive mind much more. And what is the receptive mind? Well, the receptive mind, like the word already says, it's like the mind that receives. It's not the mind that chases, that goes out, that tries to think. How can I do this, and that? No, it receives. And in the 9th house, the area of travel, higher education, belief system, the beliefs, religion falls into this area as well. You get to review, observe, and open up to new ideas. Maybe you want to go on a big journey, travel, let the world inspire you. Maybe you want to pursue higher education. Maybe this is something that you are opening up to now. And then always the belief system. What beliefs are not serving you? When you open up to the bigger picture, to the bigger vision, you will very quickly see which beliefs that you're running are not serving you, that are limiting you. Right? There's this limit with certain beliefs we have, and you want to dissolve those. Then in the 8th house, you're again observing yourself interacting with the other. You're observing your triggers. In the 8th house, I love retrogrades in the 8th house because they always, in my opinion, help us the most to like bring up the jewels, because we get to observe our triggers. We look at what just makes us go, and this could come through any and everything. It could come through your partner, right? Your partner's behavior bothers you. This can come through financial challenges that are brought our way. Other people's stuff, when that annoys us, that is always a sign to check in. What does it actually mean? What does it actually do with me? Why am I actually annoyed with that? Why is this triggering me? Why is this does it bring up anger? Remember, the 8th house is the natural place of Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. Anger is a huge topic here, but also shame, guilt, grief, apathy even. All those lower level vibrations, we get to work through them. And we get to work through them especially during retrogrades. So this is a really potent time for you. Then Virgo Rising, for you, like I just said, Leo Rising, you're talking about the 8th house and then also the 7th house, but you have the 8th house in common here with Leo Rising. And I just said to the lovely Leos that this is a potent time to look at those low level vibrations, all those triggers that come up, your partner triggers you, other people triggers you, money issues trigger you. Why is that triggering you? The 8th house, natural place of Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto. Anger issues, shame, guilt, grief, apathy. All the lower vibrations. It's a beautiful time to really check in with where you are holding those vibrations. And again, this is not a one-time fix. We are taking off layer and layer and layer. It's like peeling an onion. And this is a potent time to peel off a bigger layer. Then in the 7th house, you get to look at your relationships, the way you relate, the way you communicate in relationships, right? This is Mercury, communication. How do you communicate with the other? How's the other communicating with you? What does that tell you about you? How do you receive their communication? How do you receive their interaction? How do they receive yours? Are you aligning? Can you find a way to align that communication? Can you connect? Mercury is a connector. And if you can't connect, if you can't find a connecting point, what is it? Why are you not connecting? What are you holding on to? Or what do you not want to release? Kind of like the same thing. This is a potent time for relationships for you. I mean, we already talked about that for the Venus retrograde, but really you're going to take this a level deeper here. And so this is the first part. Watch out for video 2, where I'm going to talk about Libra rising, Scorpio rising, Sagittarius rising, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces rising. If you have any questions about this retrograde, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. And anything else, ask away. I'm here for you. Have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you later.